Hello everyone, I am Pooja Lahane. Today we are going to learn about what are the important React question. We are going to see what are the features of React. So basically React was created by Jordan Walke. He was a software engineer at Meta. Then see there are mainly like 8 React features. We will go each features in depth. So first one is the JSX. It is a JSX based framework, or we can say it is basically a library. Then it uses virtual DOM. Then performance. It have the one-way data binding. Then there are so many extensions. Then conditional statement, component, and simplicity. These are the features of React. We will go each features in detail. So first one is the JSX. So basically JSX stands for JavaScript syntax extension. So JSX is a combination of HTML and JavaScript. So basically what does mean of JSX? It is a programming language? No. So JSX is not basically a programming language, which is basically a combination of HTML and JavaScript. With the help of JSX, we can do, you can embed JavaScript object inside HTML elements. So what does React do? It uses JSX, and JSX give us access to embed JavaScript object inside HTML elements and make it more simpler. And then JSX. Then JSX is not supported by the browser. As a result, Babel compiler transcompile the code into JavaScript code. So in React, every component always return JSX, and JSX is not supported by browser because it is not a programming language, which is basically a just JavaScript syntax extension. In that we can embed JavaScript inside HTML. As a result, Babel compiler transcompile the code into JavaScript code. So that for that purpose there is a one compiler. The name is Babel, which basically transcompile our JSX code into the JavaScript, and then it compiled by browser, because we know that only browser only can compile the programming languages code. So then JSX makes code easy and understandable. So what does JSX do? So why we need a JSX? Why we are not using plain JavaScript? We may behind the scenes it uses JavaScript, but for the purpose of users simplicity, it uses JSX, which is basically a combination of JavaScript and HTML. So here we can see that we just declare a variable like const name is equal to Pooja. So and then another variable const element is equal to, here we can see h1, it is basically a HTML tag, welcome name. So like this we can embed JavaScript inside HTML. So this is known as JSX, we can say like this. Then another feature is virtual DOM. So then next feature of JavaScript is basically a virtual DOM. So DOM stand for document object model. So what does DOM mean? So basically DOM is basically a concept which runs in the browser. With the help of we can embed JavaScript inside HTML and make it website more dynamic. DOM provides some method like get element by ID, so we can get the element by ID of that particular element. So like this, here is like our HTML element, so we can give it like ID is equal to like h like name or something, and we can access that ID in JavaScript, and we can make it more dynamic for like changing color, like that operation we can do by using the DOM. Then virtual basically React uses virtual DOM, which make it more faster. So what does mean of this virtual DOM? So virtual DOM divides into modules and execute the code. So what does the virtual DOM do? It divides the code into modules and execute code. So for the purpose of simplicity, it divides into module. Usually JS frameworks updates the whole DOM at once, which make web applications slow. So all the JS framework, what does they do? For the purpose of updation, they whole DOM update at once, so the reason application becomes slow. So but in React, it uses virtual DOM, which is an exact copy of real DOM. So at the backend, what React do? It uses the virtual DOM, which is an exact copy of real DOM. So which make it more faster. So we are going to see how React is become a more faster. So whenever there is any modification in web application, the whole virtual DOM is updated first. So what happened when first of all what happened, we we do a simple website, and after that when we modify anything in that web application, whole DOM is our virtual DOM is updated first. So like we just change name. So for that purpose, what happened, React doesn't update the real DOM. First of all, what it did, it updates the virtual DOM, and then it finds the difference between real DOM and virtual DOM. It didn't update real DOM at first. What it do, it firstly update the virtual DOM. Then what does it do? It finds the difference between that real DOM and virtual DOM. And once it finds the difference, the DOM updates only the part that has changed recently, and everything remains same. So this concept make React more faster. So what before in another application, what happened, it always updates the original DOM at once. But in the case of React, first of all it updates the virtual DOM, then it compares this virtual DOM into the real DOM. If it finds any changes between those two DOMs, then only it updates the original DOM, and it updates only the changes that happened, like name. If there is a changes in name, so it will only update the name, it will not update the whole DOM, and all the things will keep remain same. So these things make React more faster. So that's an all for today. So what we see, there are so many features in React, but in today's session we see that the most important feature like JSX and virtual DOM. So that's an all for today. Thank you.